Hey friends, it's Shauna from glittergiftsandmore.com. I sell glitter, ready-to-use water slides, glitter tumblers, and some other gifty items. If you have a minute to go check it out, I always appreciate it. Today we're going to do a quick video on how we created this composition style notebook. I started with a prepped and spray painted 20-ounce skinny tumbler, and I'm going to use the epoxy method for this particular cup because the glitter is on the chunkier side. We're using classic composition, which is a mixed glitter with white and black round pieces, and it's got varying sized particles. Having a white cup is helpful for this particular design because if you have any gaps in your glitter, it's going to blend right in, because you do want that kind of Mod Podged composition look. So this is the only glitter that we're going to use for the cup itself, although in the epoxy I do use silver sands, which is the silver epoxy additive, and I use that in the first layer of epoxy. So we're just using the classic composition, trying to get full coverage as best we can. Once we get this completely covered, we're going to just use our finger to tap it smooth, get them to lay flat. Definitely paying attention to the rim of the cup as well, because the flatter it is now, the less sanding you're going to have later. And this is probably the most time consuming part of this cup, is just getting the glitter on there. And I probably should have just taken the lid to the shaker off, but I did not think of that at the time. But those varying size particles just took a little bit longer to get out of the shaker than a standard glitter would have. So as I'm going through and I'm tapping the glitter flat, I am also looking for any spots where epoxy is still showing, and I'm going to add some more glitter to that and then pat that flat as well. And I know some people, when they're using the chunkier glitters and they're patting it flat instead of using their finger, they also use a piece of parchment paper and just kind of wrap it around the cup, and that works perfectly well too. I was just being lazy. So now I'm looking for those spots where I can add more glitter. Now once this is done, I am off camera going to epoxy it smooth. Like I said, I did use the Silver Sands silver epoxy additive in the first layer of glitter. It took this first layer of epoxy, and it did take 2 layers of epoxy to get it smooth. And now we're just adding the decal. And I am using a clear water slide. So in order to make my clear water slides show up, I cut a piece of white vinyl in the same shape as my water slide decal. There's other ways you could have done this. You could have used white water slide and cut it to shape. You could have used a clear water slide, cut it to shape, but had mirrored the print and spray painted and applied it in reverse. There's lots of ways you could have done this. I just went with this one because it was the most convenient at the time. So first I'm applying that white vinyl, making sure it's smooth. And then I'm going to apply the clear water slide decal just right over top of it. And I always check to make sure that the water slide is ready to be released by just trying to move it around on the backing. Once it's nice and squiggly and you're able to move it around a little bit, it's ready to apply. I added a little bit of water to the vinyl portion so that I can maneuver that water slide onto the vinyl and get it in the correct spot. And I'm using that black trim on the water slide decal to line up with my white vinyl for proper placement. Now, because this is a clear water slide, that black does have clear on the other side of it, but it'll blend right into the glitter of the cup. So I don't have to worry about having it cut perfectly to shape, which is why I went with this route, because it was just easier to cut white vinyl and apply the water slide on top of it than it was to do the print and cut. I was being lazy. So we're making sure we get all the water out from behind the decal. We're going to let that dry completely, add a final layer of epoxy, and that is the finished cup. These ones are absolutely perfect for teacher appreciation gifts or back to school. If you would like, I can add the decal as a digital download as well as the vinyl cut file if you want to go with the same method that I did for applying the decal. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a great day.